Islamic faith in particular. And throughout the afternoon, you will have a chance to talk with our reporters and experts about the investigation, the reaction, and the war on terrorism. But first, once again, I would like to take a little bit of a temperature of what's going on in our audience today. So let me get a feel for how you feel about the president saying that we are at war. Jeff, do you agree with that statement, and what do you think we should do?
I think we are at war. I think we should go in now and take care of the terrorism, take care of Osama bin Laden, because they're talking about that this is a holy war. They're calling it a holy war. They're going in. They're saying that they're shielding the people. They're shielding their leaders behind innocent people. I have to agree with what Zell Miller said from here in Georgia. We should bomb them all to hell, because they thought our people were expendable. If we bomb their people, there's innocent lives lost, so be it. They didn't care about our people. And another thing is, we're getting too much. We're starting to get into semantics. We're starting to sugarcoat things. I want people to look at the hard realities. We were attacked on our shores.
Stephen, we keep hearing the word they a lot. Do you feel like you know who you're fighting?
I think we're fighting exactly who the president said we're going to war against. We're fighting terrorists. The president didn't say we're at war with Osama bin Laden. He didn't say we're at war with Islam. He said we're at war with terrorism. That's who we're fighting. No matter where you are in the world, I agree with the president and I support him. You can run, but you cannot hide.
And across the room over here.
This is Hannah. Hannah, go ahead.
I do agree that we are at war with terrorism. Again, I agree that this was an attack on humanity, but that we have to be conscious of the collateral damage in our counterattack, that we have to be conscious and aware of the fact that we still retain our humanity, and it's important that we display that in our counterattack, that we be strategic, and that we do not waste millions or thousands of innocent lives, to recognize that we are dealing with people, and this is a war against terrorism, not a war against a religious group, not a war against an ethnic people, a war against terrorism, and specific terrorists at that.
Let me take a phone call. Nancy in Oregon. Go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, it's Oklahoma, but that's
Oklahoma,
fine.
Sorry.
I want to say that I'm a Vietnam-era veteran, and I think that this attitude of that we're too good or we're too moral to get down and do what needs to be done, I think we need to resolve ourselves that we need to get down, get dirty, get after them. And the difference between us and them is that we'll clean ourselves up afterwards.
And one more from the audience here. Elliot?
Well, I feel at this point it's necessary to make a statement to the world that we will not condone countries harboring terrorists. And Afghanistan, we've asked them before to get rid of bin Laden and to take action, and now we've finally given him, or Pakistan has given him an ultimatum. And if he does not comply, it'll be necessary to take action against Afghanistan, and then from there to get bin Laden.
Here to give us some idea now of what's on the minds of people in their areas, in their hometowns, Al Rantel, host of the Al Rantel Show on KABC Radio in Los Angeles, and Victoria Jones, a radio talk show host on WMAL in Washington. Is this pretty much mirroring, Al, what you're hearing from your listeners?
Yeah, very much. It's amazing how the nation is speaking so much with one voice, Bobby. The unity is pretty amazing to see. Differences have been put aside. The controversy under which President Bush became president seems to have not had an impact on how people are reacting to this. And I think what it shows is that the enemies of the United States always underestimate the American people. It never fails. They really believe that they can destroy America, and they don't understand that America is an idea. And that you can't destroy ideas. You only unify people when you do what these awful individuals thought they could do.
Victoria, we only knew exactly who that enemy was.
Yeah, we don't know exactly who it is. We've got an idea about who it is, and we've got an idea about who's harboring him or them. We don't really know, and we're hoping that our government does know and that they'll take the appropriate action at the right time. It's very difficult to fight a war against people who you cannot see, except you just see this one face again and again and again of Osama bin Laden. And it'll be tragic, and it may be necessary if we have to bomb Afghanistan, because the people of Afghanistan did not put the Taliban in power. They are being oppressed by the Taliban, and some of them have actually said they would rather die by American bombs than continue to live in the conditions they're living in now. So we're talking about a really terrible situation and some very difficult choices. But I would agree with Al that definitely Americans are united. They are grieving, they are sad, they are angry. and they continue to be compassionate. And these are all the qualities that will ensure victory for us and for our allies.
Let me take a quick look at the latest CNN USA Today Gallup poll. Right now, there is a lot of support among Americans for military action. The newest poll that we've done shows 88% of the country favors retaliating. People appear to be in this for the long haul, meaning that they will support it for years. And if we can get to the next, there we go, long-term war to eliminate terrorism, 52% are supporting that. 36% for punish those responsible for the attacks. And they are also prepared to make sacrifices. It would appear 80% are saying that they would support the use of ground troops, and that support is there even if there are casualties. Let me go to the audience on this. Pat, you're a veteran?
Yes, sir.
Which war?
Both Vietnam and World War II. My main concern is that this is a different kind of war. I think the statement made that we are at war is very appropriate. The enemy that we're fighting isn't a battalion, isn't Russia, isn't a designated country per se. I'm praying that what the president does, that he's, first of all, gets everything in order. Take his time, be very selective as to what we're going to do. Do not misuse our troops. We've had some bad experiences in the past. And that what we do, we not only have to satisfy ourselves, we have to satisfy the people of the world. That we're just not going out and just trying to be the cowboy.
Let me run a soundbite that came earlier today from Secretary of State Colin Powell on this very thing, on the kind of war that we will be fighting. Let's run that.
And nobody should think this is going to be, we go in and it's over in 2 days and we're out. This is going to change the way we do business. It's going to change the way we go about our daily life here in the United States. It's going to require a greater emphasis on homeland defense so we can defend ourselves against those who not.
We'll come back to that soundbite in just a moment. We have to interrupt our show to take you back to the news desk and Darren Kagan now. Darren?
Bobby, I want to show you live pictures now. We're getting in from the White House, the landing of Marine One on board President Bush. He's returning from Camp David, where he's been over the weekend meeting with his national security advisors. We expect when the helicopter lands and the president gets out, he is going to make some comments, and we'll bring those to you live here on CNN. Meanwhile, we'll split the screen, keep the picture on the president and the White House, and continue to listen to our viewers. Bobby?
All right, Darren, we'll get back to you as soon as we hear something from the president. Can we re-rack that soundbite from the Secretary of State there real quick and run that again on what sort of war we are fighting this time around?
And nobody should think this is going to be, we go in and it's over in 2 days and we're out. This is going to change the way we do business. It's going to change the way we go about our daily life here in the United States. It's going to require a greater emphasis on homeland defense so we can defend ourselves against those who, notwithstanding our best efforts overseas, are still trying to get in to the country to hurt us.
Al, Victoria, reaction?
Well,
what kind of war
I'll
are we fighting exactly? It's certainly not a conventional one.
It's going to be a completely new war, a war that we've never fought before, a war that we're fighting against a different kind of enemy. It is a war of ideas as well as of troops. We have an idea and they have an idea. And that's one of the difficulties of this war. Also, the sustainability of it is going to be difficult for us, but we can rise to it. We're so used to instant response to everything that for us to sustain this for several years is going to be challenging. We can do that, but that's something I'm already starting to hear from our audience as to how long are we prepared to keep going at this. But I think that we are.
We also have to evaluate some of the ways we do business here in the United States, too. This will be as much an internal look as it'll be what we do externally. For example, you know, these people were running around loose in this country, Bobby. They were doing all kinds of things, going to flight school in Florida and elsewhere. And we have to decide, who are we going to let into America? Are we going to be able to keep track of people who come here illegally and not have them come at all? And know when people exit that they're supposed to exit, and if they don't exit the country, what exactly are they doing here, particularly when they're from very suspect parts of the world oftentimes. So there are ways that we do business in America that have not really been up to the level of a superpower to protect our security. We're going to have to examine all of those things as much as we do anything militarily.
Sarah, go ahead.
And that we should remember first and foremost is that bin Laden is a criminal. he has committed a crime against the whole world, and he's like a cancer on the body of the world. And so we must concentrate on him and not try to kill the whole body.
Sarah, let me interrupt you just a second. We're not ignoring the president here. We're having audio problems from the White House, so we will get you the president's remarks as quickly as we can. Sarah, go ahead.
I was basically saying that as far as retaliation goes, we have to be very careful not to attack the whole body when we're just trying to get the cancer.
Well, this is the difficulty, because the cancer is not just in one place. If we kill Osama bin Laden, that's fine. Okay, we do that. But many more suicide bombers will arise in his state, because that is the way that this particular war is being waged. We have to fight at a deeper level, a much more complex level than just taking out one person or one group or one cell. This is why it's going to take so long.
Victoria, I'm sorry. Let's go to the president now. We've restored audio. Well, evidently we have not. We'll keep working on that. Get back to the president. I'm sorry, Victoria. Go ahead.
We're also starting to hear from some of our audience the idea that we have to look at ourselves, not in the sense that we deserve this, but in the sense of how do other people look at us, and how are we going to be perceived during this.
We have great faith because of the compassion and love that our fellow Americans are showing each other in times of need. I also have faith in our military, and we have got a job to do. Just like the farmers and ranchers and business owners and factory workers have a job to do, my administration has a job to do, and we're going to do it. We will rid the world of the evil doers. We will call together freedom-loving people to fight terrorism. So on this day, on the Lord's Day, I say to my fellow Americans, thank you for your prayers, thank you for your compassion, thank you for your love for one another. And tomorrow when you get back to work hard like you always have. But we've been warned. We've been warned there are evil people in this world. We've been warned so vividly. And we'll be alert. Your government is alert. Governors and mayors are alert that evil folks still lurk out there. As I said yesterday, people have declared war on America, and they have made a terrible mistake, because this is a fabulous country. Our economy will come back. We'll still be the best farmers and ranchers in the world. We're still the most innovative entrepreneurs in the world. On this day of faith, I've never had more faith in America than I have right now.
Mr. President, are you worried this crisis might send us into a recession?
David, I understand that there are some businesses that hurt as a result of this crisis. Obviously, New York City hurts. Congress acted quickly. We worked together, the White House and the Congress, to pass a significant supplemental. A lot of that money was dedicated to New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, as it should be. People will be amazed at how quickly we rebuild New York. How quickly people come together to really wipe away the rubble and show the world that we're still the strongest nation in the world. But I have great faith in the resiliency of the economy, and no question about it, this incident affected our economy, but the market's open tomorrow, people go back to work, and we'll show the world. Yeah.
Mr. President, do you believe Osama bin Laden's denial that he had anything to do with this?
No question, he is the prime suspect. No question about that.
Mr. President, can you describe your conversation with the President of Pakistan and the specific promises he made to you? And in addition to that, do you see other promises similar? I know you've asked Saudi Arabia to help out other countries.
John, I will, obviously I made a call to the leader of Pakistan. We had a very good, open conversation. And there is no question that he wants to cooperate with the United States. I'm not at liberty to detail specifically what we have asked him to do. In the course of this conduct of this war against terrorism, I'll be asked a lot, and members of my administration will be asked a lot of questions about our strategies and tactics. And in order to protect the lives of people that will be involved in the different operations, I'm not at liberty to talk about it, and I won't talk about it. But I can tell you that the response from Pakistan, Prime Minister Bajpai today of India, Saudi Arabia, has been very positive.